Welcome to another episode of What's Happening SBC. I'm Hannah Wingett.
And I'm Jerry Silva, and we'll be your host for today's episode. The SBC is full of hidden gems. A recent one I've discovered is a theater troupe called Theater Macabre.
Oh, they hold such a special place in my heart.
Hannah here happens to be a member.
I am. I've actually acted with Theater Macabre for the last couple of years, but they have been putting on performances since 2006.
Really? I had no idea. So how did they get the name Theater Macabre?
Well, when I asked our troupe leader, he said that macabre is another word for weird or dark, and he also told me that he was those things. So it was kind of an accumulation of those, and the fact that he writes things outside of the norm. And by knowing him and knowing the shows, I'd definitely say it's a perfect match.
What are some of the shows that they do?
Well, all Theater Macabre shows are originally written by our troupe founder I just spoke about, and his name is Matt Latz.
That's actually pretty interesting. What are some of the shows about you've acted in and the characters that you've played?
Well, I was recently in a play that was a wedding show, and my character's name was Mother Grandma. She is a crazy old woman, and nobody knows who she is, why she's there, or who she's even related to. And at the end of the show, she gets a pretty shocking plot twist.
Mother Grandma, I assume you play an older lady. What goes into being and getting ready for that character?
Yes, she is an older woman. With her, it's all in the makeup, trying to make my appearance look a little bit older. I use specific coloring on my face and on my eyes, like purples and greens tone to give an age effect. I also draw really, really deep into all my wrinkles and highlight them so that they appear sunken in and darker. But Mother Grandma would not be Mother Grandma without her classic muumuu and slippers.
That sounds hilarious, and like a lot of work put into her. Besides weddings, what are themes Theater Macabre uses?
Theater Macabre is known for its murder mysteries. They range from holiday themes, cooking shows, bride shows. We even did a teacher's lounge theme for teachers back to school. And I've actually got a few clips if you'd like to see.
Absolutely. Let's roll it.
Obviously, you must be Frita's daughter, because only a mother would give someone such a hideous J. Only a dream dealer would give someone such an ugly J.
Fine! You caught me. I am Candace Krager Craig. Or shit, I don't even know my last name. Corn! My name is Corn! Katie Corn!
It really seems like Mr. Latz is able to cover a lot of ground.
Absolutely. And the best part about the shows is the camp. Not only are we known for our murder mysteries, but you actually get to actively solve the shows as we go through them. And they're hilarious.
So where could someone see one of these shows?
Anywhere. Theater Macabre is actually for hire. You can book them for birthdays, bachelorette, or even Christmas parties. And the best part is, if you request it, Matt will actually write you an original script specifically for your event.
Wow. How do I hire them?
You can either message them on their official Facebook page, which is The Theater Macabre, or you can contact Matt Latz directly. His phone number is 318-272-3503. Theater Macabre also does other forms of entertainment as well.
What? They do even more?
You bet. We also do Shadowcast. The one that we're most known for is the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That is a cult classic, but what is a Shadowcast?
Well, that's when we play the movie on a big screen so that everybody in the audience can see it, but we dress up as the people and perform each number or each scene while they're there. And it's so much fun because they get to interact with you. This movie is known for being played in theaters in the late 70s at midnight, and it became such a cult following because people would scream things at the television. They would throw toast or squirt water or put newspapers over their head when Jack and Janice ran through the rain. And we integrate that into all of our shows. So a lot of them will throw water at us, throw rice at us, and it's really, really entertaining.
I'm actually pretty sad. I've never knew about this. Aside from shadowcasting, is there anything else that the theater does?
I'm so glad you asked, because I was just about to tell you. Recently, we've also started doing improv shows.
Like, whose line is it anyways?
Exactly.
I had no idea we had so much talent in one group. That's sweet. I know I can't wait to book a show.
Speaking of sweet, I can't wait to show you what I got up to this weekend.
Okay, this I've got to hear.
Have you ever heard of ice cream in a bag?
Like wine in a bag?
Almost as delicious, but not quite.
Is that something you make?
It sure is, and I actually made a video to show you and everyone at home how to do it.
Well, that is sweet. Let's roll the clip.
Today we're going to be making bagged ice cream with the ingredients that you see here. We're going to need either heavy whipping cream, or you can use half and half. You need ice cream salt, really any salt will do, but the bigger the better, sugar, vanilla, and ice. So the first thing we're going to do, oh, and you'll also need Ziploc bags. First thing you're going to do is take your small Ziploc bag, and you're going to add your wet ingredients. So we're going to take one cup of heavy cream, then you're going to need 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2. Then I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And you can add more or less, depending on how much flavor you want yours to have. Alright, then you're going to make sure you squeeze all the extra air out. So there's still air in the bag. I'm going to make sure all that comes out. Make sure it's sealed up super, super tight so you don't have any drips. The next thing you want to do is take your big bag and about 4 cups of ice. You can do 4 or 5. Then you're going to take 1/3 cup of your salt. You're going to add it to your bag. Then you're going to add your mixture to the bag. Again, making sure it's sealed. Seal this one. All the way tight. Make sure it's covered in the ice. You can use a t-shirt to put the bag inside so your hands don't get cold. And you're going to shake the bag for 7 to 10 minutes, depending on how thick you want the mixture. When you're done, you should get something that looks like this. Bon appetit.
That looks delicious. Where's mine?
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. It didn't make it past the weekend.
That's okay, I guess. Chocolate is my favorite anyways.
Oh, there's actually a way that can be easily made from the recipe I just showed.
Well, how so?
All you have to do is add a couple tablespoons of chocolate syrup or chocolate powder to your mix.
That is pretty easy. I'm not much of a cook. What I love most is you can make it year-round.
I'm so glad we see eye to eye on that. Most people see ice cream as just a summer snack, but I love it any time of the year.
My thoughts exactly. Let's take a quick commercial break and we can make our own.
Ooh, sounds good.
I like to give people memories. I like to give them something that they can look back on and it sparks some memory that makes them really happy or sad. I'm the instructor here at BPCC. I teach photography, and that includes fine art photography, wedding and event photography, portrait. I also teach Photoshop.
Photography can develop new skill sets and create opportunities.
After retiring in 2012 from the United States Air Force, I decided to find another passion, and that was with photography.
Not every photo shoot has the same needs. That's why BPCC provides instruction in a variety of courses, including portrait, event photography, and fine art photography.
As a student, you can learn all aspects of photography: operating the camera, how to pose your model, developing the right light for a shot, and how to use software such as Adobe Photoshop to polish your work.
It's so neat to be with the students through the process from day one when they're first learning how to turn on their camera, and then when they leave and they feel confident as they get jobs and see their work appear in galleries and on billboards. We want our students to have access to great opportunities, and we're the first college in the state to have a Phase 1 camera. Most importantly, we want them to get their degree and make a living.
Oh, welcome back, SBC. Let's talk about history.
Like this ice cream?
It's definitely history, but not today. We're actually going to learn a brief history on photography.
Oh, awesome. I know a little bit about it myself.
Are we about to have a quiz off?
I believe so.
Okay, Jerry. Then first question. In what century did the basic concept of photography begin?
Oh, Hannah, I thought you could give me a challenge. It started in the 5th century, but it wasn't until Iraqi scientists developed the camera obscura in the 11th century that it became an art form.
Dude, great job, Jerry. I'm like super impressed.
My turn, Hannah. Do you know how the camera obscura was used?
Yes, I actually do. A pinhole was poked into the side of a tent to cast an image from the outside of the tent to the darkened area. Then, in the 17th century, the camera obscura became small enough for it to be mobile. It was also, at this time, the basic lenses were made to be able to focus the light.
That's exactly correct. You sure do know your stuff.
And did you know the photography that we know and love today actually started in the 1830s in France?
I did. It was Joseph Niep who used a mobile camera obscura to expose a pewter plate.
That became the first recorded image that was permanently fixed, meaning it didn't fade quickly.
This discovery led to the creation of film.
And it didn't stop there. Through time, we discovered emulsion and dry plates.
And it wasn't too long after that when George Eastman started Kodak in the 1880s.
Eastman made a mobile film roll that didn't force you to constantly change out the solid plates.
The consumer would send the camera to the factory to have the film developed and have the prints made.
It's a lot like the disposable cameras we have today, which was the first camera cheap enough for the average person to be able to purchase.
Soon after followed the instant image produced by Polaroid in the mid-1960s.
And by the late 1970s, cameras were able to control aperture, focus, and shutter speed.
And that started the mass production of cameras that lead us to where we are today. This next clip wouldn't have been possible without those discoveries.
You're absolutely right, Jerry. What video was sent for us today?
Emma from Bossier Parish Community College has sent us an at-home mask making tutorial.
Ooh, that can come in handy. Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Emma Pontremoli, and today I'll be showing you masks that you can make out of one recycled t-shirt. So first, let's see what we'll need. The first thing you'll need is one t-shirt and a good pair of scissors. Then simply just take your t-shirt and we'll cut along the seam of the sleeve. We're just going to cut along the other sleeve 2 times to make our ties. Then you can set your t-shirt to the side. Then we're going to cut along the sleeve to make sure both sides are even. Then we'll simply fold the edges and make little cuts along the side. You'll do the exact same thing to the other side. Then you'll take the ties and stretch them to make them longer. Then we'll use the safety pin to weave the tie in between the slits we made on the sleeve. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Then you'll tie the ends on both strings. You can cut the excess tie off. Now it's time to try it on. Once you put it on, you can adjust it around your face to make it more fitting. And the best thing about these masks is they're cotton and they won't irritate your skin. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's quick how-to video. Bye!
I'm not a crafty man by no means, but I could definitely make one of those.
I agree with both of those statements. What an easy way to make a life-saving device.
You've got that right. All right, SBC, thanks so much for joining us.
Again, I'm Hannah Wingett.
And I'm Jerry Silva.
And we'll see you on the next episode of
What's Happening SBC?